Good morning, happy to see you. Happy New Year.
How are you?
I'm good.
Right?
Yes.
For the benefit of my viewer who maybe for the very first time is watching you,
Yes.
who is Mr. Jimmy?
Mr. Jimmy is a Kenyan, born in Mombasa, Changamu here. Mr. Jimmy is Secretary General, Coast Region in Mombasa. Mr. Jimmy is married, is happily with 2 boys, and is the current secretary for the region, and entirely he's been in the political activities for quite some times. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. Did you rise? How did you rise from getting into the position that you hold currently?
I started it way back at the so-called TUM, which is the technical university of this region. I used to be the Secretary General of the Students' Union. So slowly I rise up, right, and I'm here where I am now.
I love the fact that every single student leader has, they will go in line with and getting into politics as well. That's quite a route that every single student leader and every politician, most of them that I've spoken to, they tell me that in a time and once in a while they did have to be a student leader somewhere. But of course, getting back to our topic of discussion this morning, and let's begin from 31st of last year.
Yes.
Looking at whatever was happening at Bukungu Stadium. And, it didn't work well with the ANC party leader and the ANC party supporters and the members of parliament within the ANC, and they were not happy with whatever was happening there, even though they did agree that let them continue with their meeting. But you guys, you seem not to be happy about whatever was happening. What was your point of concern?
Yeah, I think, Shadrach, you'll agree with me because this is a political period. And when you see things going the way they are going, I'll term it as political fever, mm-hmm, or election fever. And when you're having election fever, others will try to tremble, others will try to cry, right, and others will try to shed fears. What happened in Bukungu, it is normal. And in many cases, you find that that was not a Luya meeting. Mm-hmm. That was an Azimio meeting. You get me? Right. Because if indeed we wanted to have a Luya meeting, there are procedures to be done and followed. And all the stakeholders should be reached upon. So basically, what happened, it was Azimio La Umoja Western Region. Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you're telling me that if it was to be a Luya meeting, everyone was to be invited, I had the convenience of the meeting saying they have extended a hand to ANC party leader and Moses Wentagula himself that they are free to come on board, but they stayed put and say they are not going to show up.
Yeah, you see, it depends. People have programs, huh? And for any person not showing up does not mean that he turned down the event. Mm-hmm. What basically happens is people have programs, and if you strictly want to have a Luya nation meeting, the procedures to be followed. Yes.
Was the meeting consequential in terms of looking at how Mudavadi and the grip that he enjoys within his own bike?
Come again?
Was the meeting, according to you, had some sort of consequences at the side of Mudavadi?
You see, narrowing it down to what happened in Bukungu, mm-hmm, you see Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga and Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi, they are competitors. And if there are 2 competitors, then therefore it depends with the agenda of the meeting. Mm-hmm. You cannot just invite somebody for a meeting and hiding other cards under the table. It will be prudent if all the cards are put on table. Mm-hmm. This is what is going to be happen. Then we have everybody on board.
Right.
Yes.
Your party leader was you know, if I may use the word, he was picked as the Luya Nation spokesperson during Bukungu 1, I believe you are aware of.
Yes.
And in Bukungu 2, it's now Oparanya's time.
You know,
is Mudavadi losing grip at his own backyard?
No, that is hearsay, yeah? Because, you know, in the Luya Nation, you'll agree with me that when you pronounce a spokesperson, you should also use the same model to depronounce and bring another person. So as far as the Luya Nation is concerned, they strictly know that the spokesperson is none other than Honorable Musalia Mudavadi.
Right.
So we have not been told in the rightful manner if Musalia Mudavadi has been removed.
Who is supposed to tell you?
The elders, yes, of the Luya Nation.
Right.
And all should agree and come up with consensus and come up something that is a bit solid to make it a proper communication. That now we don't want this one, and this is the criteria used. We now want this one, and this is the criteria used.
And looking at how things are happening within the Luya Nation.
Yes.
And you know, to me it sounds and looks, I look at it from this point of view, that to some extent, there are section of leaders within the Luya Nation that do believe that, you know, they gave the mantle to Musalia Mudavadi to steer up the Luya Nation politically, but that does not seem to work out so well with him. And they're now thinking, you know, it's high time we should give another person another opportunity like that.
I'll bring you back to what I was telling you. This is what we call election fever. And some of the leaders we are having at the Western region, they tend to tremble. They tend to not hold itself. And sometimes it's good to be patient. It's good to be patient and learn the political dynamics and the political way forward. Yes. So what is happening is that we have some leaders who are actually trembling, not knowing if they'll make it back. And you see, I'll tell you about His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi. This is a seasoned politician who actually knows when to strike it and when to do it, and is a bit focused. Yes.
And if we are to look at these leaders, the different, you know, the few names within the Luya Nation that we know, and there has been this clarion call that the Luya vote should be one, and we should put that in one basket. This year, 2022 general election that we are headed to, do you feel it's going to be the worst, and the Luya Nation vote are going to be scattered all over?
It's not going to be the worst. What I'll tell you is that this is going to be one of the superb elections we've never had in the previous years, because you see the spokesperson of the Luya Nation, who is His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, he stayed put, and he has clearly said that he is going to the ballot. It's unlike the other time that we supported His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga several times. But this time around, we are focused and we have said we are going up to the ballot. So the Luya Nation is not sleeping. The Luya Nation knows what to do and at what time. This kind of things we are seeing is just dramas and the electioneering fever that is happening. But the year started on so well, and you will see how the Western region is going to behave.
And you know, listening to you, it's like you're ravishing and you're saying that, you know, whatever happened within the Bukungu Stadium and whatever also happened at Mias in itself, you know, it's like, you know, it's just...
maybe let me just clarify something, because you seem to be narrowing so much into the Bukungu thing. You know, during 31st, we had two events. We had the Mumias event, and we had the Bukungu event. The Bukungu event, initially, with the organizers, it was to be a Luya meeting. But upon realizing that they will not achieve what they want to achieve, they now turned it to be Azimio Western chapter, you understand? And the program that was there for Mumias, it was a tournament. So looking at these two events, basically, if we really wanted to have a serious Luya meeting, then we could not have the two events happening. Right. But you see, we had two events happening because the Buhungu one
was countering.
There was nothing like countering. These were just events. You look at this was a tournament, and this was a Azimio La Umoja led by his Raila Amolo Odinga. So this was a Raila Amolo Odinga event.
Right.
Yes.
And of course, I was coming back to whatever was happening within Mumias. I could not have failed to touch on it with concerning it as well.
Yes.
And looking at how things happened at Mumias in itself, and to us, we read some bit of politics out of it, rather than looking at it from a square of a tournament, just itself, looking at how also the deputy president was there and some of the sentiments of the politicians who spoke. What can you read out of it?
You see, the Mumias event, it was a tournament. And you'll agree with me, we have fans who love football, games, and whatever. And one of them is the deputy president. He loves football so much.
Right.
That is why perhaps he had to attend the meeting. Yes.
Should we Kenyans read much into his arrival at Mumias?
You see, the deputy president is a Kenyan, and is free to move all over. And he doesn't seek for approval from any quarters. The deputy president came to attend, and actually in his capacity as a Kenyan, to watch the games that were going on. Right. There's nothing mischief about the Mumias thing or anything that the country need to read some mischief. You see, we have other people also attended the event who come from a different political divide. Right. So I don't see something that the Kenyans maybe will read some mischief. As far as I'm concerned, the Mumias event was a tournament, and any other person can attend a tournament.
Right.
Yes.
And it is within the Mumias meeting that we had the deputy president also calling for unity of different leaders across the border, and it appears to us that he was trying, to woo Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula to come and join and make, a coalition. Looking at the paper today in itself, it's talking about Ruto having to talk with the two concerning a pre-election coalition agreement.
Yeah, the deputy president has hinted that he will reach out to the two principals, and that one he has just mentioned that he will meet them. It does not mean that he has already spoken to them. And you see, when you have a meeting, you can agree to disagree. So we leave that one at that level.
Right.
Yeah.
But is it an option that the NC party in itself, from the docket that you hold, I know you may have some clear information about it. Is it an option that you guys also think about?
No, you see, we've got so many options, and looking at the political dynamics and the current political affairs, you'll find that we have even reached out to Kabogo, we have reached out to Muturi, and discussions are going on. So I want Kenyans to look at it that we are reaching out to like-minded people. So let us not just concentrate and say that it is the deputy president alone. But clearly, where I sit, I'll tell you for free, His Excellency Mudavadi will be on the ballot box. Right. Yes.
Right. He has time and again said and maintained and stamped his feet, saying he said for the ballot come 2022.
Yes.
Is that so, or is just saying?
No. This is a seasoned politician who is well experienced and well versed with the government operations. And therefore, he means what he says. Yes. He will be on the ballot. And I want Kenyans to know that His Excellency Mudavadi will be on the ballot as the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya.
And One Kenya Alliance, currently,
yes.
The NC party is within One Kenya Alliance.
Yes.
And time and again, we've seen them saying that, of course, we are together, we'll have to pick one of our own and be a candidate, and we will support him. Are you optimistic like that candidate will be Musalia Mudavadi, and why?
Shadrach, in politics, you need to be strategic. And what you see in One Kenya Alliance is a strategy that these core principles are trying to do. And you'll agree with me that we are aware of the election timelines. We know when actually to pronounce our presidential candidate or presidential flag bearer. So these theatrics of these people are not together, these people will not form the government, these people disintegrate, should not arise any. What I'll tell you for free that is we have a team that is crafting what is to be done at what particular time.
Right.
Yes, so OCA is there, and the year started, and you start seeing things moving. Yes.
Right, very true. And the year, this is the year of course, and we are just 7 months into the general election.
Yes.
And the concerns of many, and there's a very simple question. Does OCA stand a chance? Is it a formidable alliance, so to speak, looking at how things are happening in our politics?
OCA has not closed its doors. OCA's doors are still open, and that is why we keep on telling Kenyans we are looking for like-minded partners to join us in OCA, because talks are still going on as we focus on the election IEBC timelines.
Right.
Yes. So OCA is a formidable force. What we're seeing, our competitors from the other side, and looking at the two protagonists, we have the Azimio, and we have the UDA team. So the narrative that we only have two horses should not arise anymore, because we are going to shock many people this year.
I want to take a short break here.
Yes.
But before then, there is this question that we are asking. Which way for Mudavadi? Should he stay put at OCA? Should he move to Azimio? Should he, go to UDA?
Let me tell you, Shadrach, let us not try and fix His Excellency Musalia at one designate area.
Right.
This is a politician who is well versed with all the operations. We cannot say Musalia should go to either UDA or go to Azimio or get fixed in OCA. Any other politician will always have one or two things focused. But as it stands now, we are in OCA. But as we move forward, because talks are going on, we will also unveil what we are supposed to unveil at a given time. Yes.
Right. And don't you feel like the fact that you are mentioning about election timelines given out by the IEBC, don't you feel like you'll be late to some extent?
No, we are not late. We are set.
You said?
Yes.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Mr. Jimmy Azangu here is all set, like he's mentioning, that within the ANC party, together with their party leader, their eyes are set on the ballot come 2022. We've got quite a lot to discuss here in relation to the ANC party leader. We are just trying to review what was happening during the Bukungu and the Mumias meetings. And now when we come back, we'll look at the ANC party in itself. ANC party in itself. How are they planning themselves to get up to the topmost seat, and how are they crafting also how is the party being received here in Coast in particular, and also how they are seeking to do their party nominations? What are some of the issues that are rising out from these political parties? We just recently had the political parties amendment bill, something at which has sparked a lot of debate in Parliament, and also it's a national concern. I'll be asking him concerning his thoughts about that and many more. We'll be coming back to discuss on those all matters. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, as well, you can check us live. This conversation is streamed currently live on Facebook. Share your thoughts on the comment section, as well as here in studio. There's that number below your screen. I've got that phone here with me. You can share your comments as well and your questions to Mr. Jimmy here, and we'll be answering some of them as we get along with the program. Time for me to take a short break. I'll be coming back in a moment. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back now to the second part of our morning discussion here together with my guest, the current Secretary General for the Amani National Congress Party here in the coast. Mr. Jimmy Azangu is already in studio, and we had begun looking at a review and analysis of whatever happened in the weekend, and now we want to look at some of the prospects within the ANC party in itself and how it seeks to plan and craft itself ahead of the 2022 general election, which is 7 months ahead. Welcome back, sir, for the second part.
Thank you, Shadrach.
And speaking about ANC party itself, and so how strong is the party at the moment?
Shadrach, I want to take you back to how ANC was formed. ANC in full is Amani National Congress. This is a party who was formed and found in 2015. This is a national party that has 17 members of parliament. It has 74 MCAs, and it has 1 governor. Currently, the party stands at 2.5 million membership across the country. We have MCAs in Wajir, Mandera, Marsabit, Turkana, Nyamira, and the entire eastern counties. So this is a party that you'll agree with me is merely 6 years. And trying to gauge and compare with the parties that are in Kenya, with where we have reached, I think we are in the right track. As far as I'm concerned, the party is in the process of receiving various applications for candidates. And I'll mention about Mombasa. We have a good turnout of candidates up to the governorship, and all the positions have been filled, plus all the coastal counties. And most of these candidates, you'll start seeing them coming out boldly immediately after February. Most of these candidates are people who are still in government offices.
Are we likely to have nominations here in the coast?
Of course, yes. NC party is a party that is well versed with what is required as per the Political Parties Act, and therefore it will conduct free and fair nominations.
Right.
Yeah.
Before even we get to get your sentiments concerning what was happening also last week at Parliament buildings during the debate on Political Parties Amendment Bill, you've mentioned to me that you are good in terms of the ANC party having to have millions of supporters, and you've just given us some few statistics here. And also want to get your sentiments concerning the just released opinion polls by Infotract showing that NC party and Wiper party are enjoying 1% over the total.
You know, Shadrach, looking at this issue of the Infotract, these ratings, some of these things are cooked. Yeah, because you looking at the way they're trying to rate, you cannot tell me Wiper party is having 1% and they're sharing. Wiper party is a party with a number of member of parliament and a big chunk of MCAs and governor.
Right.
So when you try to rate these two parties, ANC and it is quite embarrassing, because we don't expect those doing these polls to actually rate ANC and Wiper party at 1%. Yeah. Right. It is actually, it is not practical. Even you will agree with me.
Right.
With the kind of following that we have on
Right.
the ground across the political divide, we cannot surely be at 1%. So I don't buy that.
Why are they driving such a narrative?
You know, what they're trying to drive is that this race is between two horse race. That is Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga and Mheshimiwa the Deputy President. But you see, they're trying to forget what is on the ground. You know, I'll tell you for free, most of these rallies, most of these congregation you are seeing, these two protagonists trying to drive the narrative that is two horse race. So some of these people are being ferried. I'll just take you back, even the Buhungu thing that you are talking of here.
Right.
Most of the buses were there that trying to carry people from Kisumu, far much other places, bringing them to Buhungu. And that is why I was telling you that was not a Luya meeting. That was an Azimio la Umoja.
Then how can we rate political muscles if at all we do not do such kind of things?
No, it depends with the process. The process is sham. If they indeed use the rightful process, then definitely we cannot be at 1%.
Right.
Yes.
So in a nutshell, you're not agreeing to the figures?
No, I'm not agreeing to that shenanigan of rating of the info track. They're not procedural, because you can't tell me how I wish they could have even said 20. 20 could make sense to Kenyans, but as it stands, that is not proper.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming back now to the political parties amendment bill, this is something that of course spurred a lot of debate in Parliament. We saw the kicks, the blows, fist fights with the members of Parliament, all in the name of, making an amendment to have a creation of a coalition party. Do you agree to the amendment?
You see, what we saw in Parliament is a bit embarrassing. It's a bit embarrassing in a manner to say that our senior members that we elected trying to exchange blows. It was very, very embarrassing. But from where we sit, the amendment bill, we had different amendment that were to be made. And you'll agree with me, we had 6 months to before 6 months to election, that people should deposit the pre-election pact.
Right.
And as I said earlier, various MPs have their different inclination, and people turn to believe in different frameworks. But because this is something that is a process and something that is still going on, we are anticipating perhaps in the course of the week or next week, they will also be having a sitting. And I think we will have a proper determination on that one. Yes.
Right. Do you have a party position?
Yes, we are into that, and we will delve further into a position whereby 6 months to election or 3 months to election to be the proper way to go.
Right. The amendment bill also, it seeks to iron out the issue of how coalitions share their monies. And of course, it's one of the few matters that, of course, was given as an example. The NASA Super Alliance was given as an example. And it's also another matter that your party, the ANC, had accused the ODM party of, the issue of funds that came about with how they used to share the amount.
Shadrach, and that is why I'll just take you back a little bit. When Musalia Mudavadi formed NASA, because it is in public domain, Musalia Mudavadi is the one who formed NASA. And upon being coerced, talked upon, he decided to leave it to his Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga to be his flag bearer. Perhaps by then he was saying he was remaining with one shot. And I tend to wonder, this one shot, where did it go to? So you see, we have some issue of mistrust. That is why we say we as a party, we as Oka, we will not support Azimio la Umoja because of the element of mistrust. If at all we could not get a share of the political funding that NASA received, how sure are we if today we support these guys? Are we going to get anything? So these are some of the elements that actually made us to move a step ahead and have our own vehicle, which is now Oka.
One Kenya Lines.
One Kenya Lines.
Right.
So in terms of mistrust is actually into this Azimio la Umoja. And you see, you've not seen things happen, Shadrach. Things are going to happen starting this year. What we have been seeing is that people have just been coerced, people have been lobbied, people have been bribed to at least enter into that vehicle. But you will tell me one day. The journey has just started.
Right. And are you for sure that this issue about sharing of the political parties' funding can be sorted and be cleared out through the framework of the law?
Yeah, initially, the framework that was there at the Political Parties Act, I think is the framework that should still continue, because if we go by that one, then we'll be okay. But if we continue making unnecessary amendments because of the two protagonists, we will not achieve what we want. Yes.
Right. And coming back now to ANC party within the coastal region.
Yes.
You already mentioned to me that you're enjoying quite a backing.
Absolutely.
And contestants and people who are vying for different positions have, of course, submitted their names to try and vie through the ANC party in itself. And one of the most worried issues that come out from these political parties is the issue about nominations here. And we've seen quite a number of times that we've had a series of fights within the nominations, others even opting not to support the winner and they even go ahead and vie as independents. How do you guys within ANC party look at it?
ANC party is a national party. ANC party is a party of peace. This is one of the party that many people are salivating to join as we are talking. A party that has had a history of fights, you know it. A party that has had a history of miscommunication, people trying to shift from one party to another. You will agree with me, we will not have that window period.
Right.
And that is why we are really taking our time. We are really taking our time to ensure that where we are having 2, 3, 4 candidates, we reach out to them and we try to talk to them. By either they talk and agree by themselves before we go to nomination, or we subject them to nomination, so that we don't have the cracks as we have experienced in other parties. So ANC party, we are determined and we are calling upon everybody, any other candidates to join the party, because this is the party that is going to form the next government. Yes.
Should we go for party democracy or party loyalist?
No, we will go as per the party democracy. Yes.
We have people who have stood with the party right from the beginning.
Yeah, you see, even me, I'm a life member of ANC, and I'm a founder member of ANC.
Right.
But I believe in democracy. Democracy.
Now, for instance, let's say for an example that you want to vie for a certain position somewhere, and maybe you are 2 or 3. Don't you think it's rightful for you to get a direct ticket compared to the others?
No, I'll subject myself to party nomination. That's democracy we want in the party.
So that's the route we should take?
Yeah, we should take. People should just be on that route. Democracy.
Right.
You know, this aspect of saying we want to reach consensus is what brings cracks in any political party. You know, if we have a situation whereby we have 2, 3, 4 candidates, let us try and gauge them, the strength, and let us give credit to where.
Still.
Yes.
Right. And now, before even we get too far with the NC party here in the coastal region, and there are those who feel like, you know, the coast region is predominantly for a certain party, it's predominantly known for supporting a certain leader. Is it a worry to you guys?
No, it's not a worry to us. You know, this is a narrative that has been driven by ODM, that the coastal region is an ODM zone. But I want to
is it a narrative or a reality?
No, it's a narrative. It's a narrative, Shadrach, because what happens in ODM, only God knows.
Okay.
Yes. That's what I'm telling you. 2022, by August, ANC party is going to form the government. ANC party at the county level is going to form this county government of Mombasa. Yes.
What puts you top amongst the other political parties?
We already have cracks. And I'll tell you, one of the cracks that we are having, look at the coast. ODM, now we have PA. Who is the party leader of PA?
Kilifi governor.
Yes. Who was Kilifi governor before?
ODM chair.
Now, that's a clear indication that many things are going to happen.
Right.
Me as the SG of this area and the coastal region, we have received these tremendous applications right away from ODM. People are not seeing genuinity. People are worried.
Right.
And even how I wish you could have just played a clip here that some of the ODM members were trying at Bunge la Wananchi at Mudavadi there.
Right.
They were trying to complain and trying to ask the governor. They are trying to ask the Raila Amolo Odinga to ensure that they have. You just saw the other day, Shabal is fighting for the ODM thing.
Right.
We have Abdul Samad. Do you know what is going to happen? Only God knows. So that is why I'm telling you, ANC party is going to harvest a lot.
Right.
Yes.
What is the problem, Mr. If I may ask you this, even though it's outside our discussion, what is the problem? What is the problem with our political parties? It seems that we do not get it right in terms of, you know, building up these political parties as to the demands of the common Wananchi and the party members themselves.
Yeah, you see, the element of bureaucracy is what kills our political parties. You know, if sincerely we could just follow the Political Parties Act, whereby we say we have free and fair nomination, then we could not be having these problems. But you find a place whereby either the party leader says that now let us go the consensus way. You know, if we go the consensus way, we deny the common Wananchi the aspect of becoming what he or she wants to be. That is why we say we in ANC party, we will ensure that we have free and fair elections.
Right.
Free and fair nominations. Yes. And that is why
so that's an assurance.
That's an assurance. And I'll come on this TV next time to tell you that this is now what we have harvested. I'm 100% sure. Come August, things are not going to be the same in this coastal region.
Right.
PA has taken his PA away. It's now parring. ODM is now disintegrating day by day. But you see, they still believe in, if Raila Amolo Odinga raises your hand, you become what you want to become.
Right.
But the route that is going to take, the route that Kenyans, the route that the coastal people are going to take is, whom are we supporting? What have you done for us? And they will also gauge us on what we have done before. And that is where I'm telling you now, ANC party, as young as it is, 6 years old, is going to shock the nation, is going to shock this county.
Right. Very true. Some of those shocks are what we are looking forward to, the 2022 general election, just 7 months away. If you agree with whatever Mr. Jimmy here, the ANC Secretary General in the coastal region, is saying, you can share your comments as well. I'll be coming back to finish on that and touching more concerning the ANC party as we wrap up the show, because we are just moving closer to the end and the tail end of our broadcast here. But of course, remember what we are discussing this morning. It's all about matters to do with the ANC party and some of its strategies and plans to win and get into State House come 2022. He says and he believes that yes, they can, and their eyes are set to the 2022 ballot. Do you think so? Share your thoughts. I'll be coming back in a moment. Don't go too far. Right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the last part of our discussion this morning. I'm still with Mr. Jimmy Azangu, who is the current ANC Party Secretary General here at the Coastal Region. We are trying to iron out issues within this party and many more. We are done now looking at different parts, and now we want to look at some of your questions and feedback as we also wrap it up here with my guest. And somebody says here,
Yes.
ask Mr. Jimmy to be honest with us. Are there any secret meetings between ANC and you and UDA?
No, we don't have any secret meeting with UDA. There are no secret meeting.
Right.
Maybe if they're planning to have, but we have no secret meeting.
But
Maybe
there are all kinds of indications that things could be,
if they place invitation, we will look upon them. If they place invitation, but as it stands now, we have no secret meetings.
Can it be easy for you guys working together?
That's the party position. We have no secret meeting. Order. Yes.
Right. But you can.
They have just placed invitation through the media.
You want to tell me it's through the media?
I can see it in the newspaper. We've just been going through it this morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
After the Bukhungu thing and the Mumias thing.
Right.
Yes.
But he was there in Mumias, and Malala himself was there as well.
Yeah, Deputy President was there. Yeah. And our senator, super senator, was also there.
And he has been so much vocal these days.
Of course, he's a senator. He's an NCN senator, and he has to be vocal.
Is the mouthpiece of Musalia?
No, there's nothing like the mouthpiece of Musalia. ANC party has his Secretary General, who is the national one, is called Simon Gikuru. That's the spokesperson of the party. Senator Malala is the senator for Kakamega, right, and an active member of the party, a general person of the party. Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's it. Is it true that Mudavadi feels weaker with One Kenya Alliance than alone?
This is an imagination. Musalia is very strong, and we know what he has done before. He's been out of government. Perhaps that is why he's viewed to be much lesser than other candidates. But what I can tell you that being out of government for that period of time, we need to applaud His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi for continue being strong and continue even helping the nation in various arambes. Yes. And other than those people who did handshake and actually benefited from the government, and we all know them. So we can't be compared to people who did handshake because they're actually drawing some amount of Kenyan revenue, while our party leader, who is Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, is actually dipping from his pocket to make some errands. So we can't actually equate him to these other people.
Right. But if I may get this question right here, is as I think whatever this comment is talking about here is that it seems that Mudavadi is stronger alone than when he is within One Kenya Alliance. Like for instance, maybe to some extent, the view of the person who sent this comment feels like the One Kenya Alliance, the other principles are pulling him down.
Yeah, we accept his views, but one thing I'll tell you from the history of forming government, you can't go it alone. However you see it like that. That is why we are saying we are in One Kenya Alliance, and we have not closed the doors. The doors are still open.
Right.
Yes, so I tend to understand his question. He is thinking that Musalia can be the president if he goes it alone. But now I advise him also, with the current scenario, we just need to form, we need to invite more partners who are like-minded, not just partners, partners who are like-minded, who we share ideologies for us to form the government.
Right.
Yes.
Do we have an ANC party candidate for governorship in Mombasa?
Yes, we do.
Who is it?
No, we'll be unveiling that during our national delegates conference.
Right.
That we tend to have it within this month. Yeah. That will be part of the resolution and the ratification of our presidential campaign secretariat.
Right. But make sure he comes here.
I will talk to him. I will talk to him to come to this station. Now that his foot soldier, his secretary at the coastal region, Jimmy Azangu, is in the house.
Definitely, you'll have to come.
Yes.
How is the procedure for being a ANC party member?
Yeah, of late we launched on the website, and perhaps if one wants to become a member of ANC party, he has to register. And we have different stardoms. You can be an ordinary member, you can be a stardom member 1, 2, 3, up to 4.
Right.
And if you want to be a stardom member, we have that one, which is 24,000. We currently used to call it life membership. Yeah, basically.
Right. And also, there are different political parties which had issues with, the register of political parties about the register of members. And was that also part of your concerns? Is your register okay?
You see, yeah, we've been actually working on that. We see we had problems whereby you find members are being swapped. Today you find yourself, you registered in ANC, you find yourself you are in Jubilee.
Right.
You find yourself you are in Shirikisho party. So it was a thorn in the flesh, and members of different political parties were trying to argue it out. And I think as it stands, it has been solved. Yes.
Right. And the last question here about, let me check it. ANC party leader has time and again questioned the confidence of IEBC in delivering a free and fair election. What can you say about that as well?
Yeah, initially we actually were trying. By then we had not actually have a complete set of commissioners. I think his question is referred to that.
Okay.
Because you see, when we have a few commissioners, other than the prerequisite of having a full body, it tends to demean the accuracy of the intended results to get. So we had also issues over that one. And we had also issues about the Huduma number being used.
Right.
We had also issues of tampering with the register.
Are you satisfied with where we are at with the Huduma number?
No,
because you raised that issue, but
no, we are not satisfied with the Huduma number issue. Let a voter uses his ID and the voter's card. Because you see, the issue of Huduma number will lead us into vifaranga via computer. You understand? Because you see, you'll remember, even a 14-year-old child was trying to be put into the Huduma number.
Right.
So it will actually create conflict, conflict of interest, by us using the Huduma number to vote. So it will be prudent and it will be much better if actually we strict ourselves to the element of using the voter's card and the ID, or perhaps the passport.
Right.
But this because many people were denied this Huduma number, even from the diaspora. You see, if we have people using the Huduma number, then our diaspora votes will not be in a position to vote.
Right.
And now we will lose our people who are outside the country. So that is why I feel we should strictly encourage the IEBC to clean up their register, to continue registering, and to ensure to do the civic education. Yes.
Right. Last but not least, Mr. Jimmy, and this is quite a tough one, you know,
And I'll give my parting shot.
Of course, definitely. And you've mentioned to me, like come 2022, by the grace of God, you'll be forming government.
Of course, yes.
And currently,
Shadrach, you don't need to question that one. The writings are on the wall. Yeah. Or you want to tell me which Kenya do you stay?
But what I'm asking from this point of view, like we've had the issue about the deep state, I don't know, the system, and there are a few individuals who say that the system favors an individual somewhere. Could that individual be your party leader?
No, you see, people have always called about systems, I don't know, deep state, I don't know what. We believe in the rule of law, and let the common mwananchi, let the Wanjiku decide. We are neither in deep state.
Do you want to tell me Wanjiku decides here in Kenya?
Of course, yes. Why not? People vote.
And this whole noise about, we might vote and there's a few
those are the halabaloos in this country. Where we are heading to where democracy is taking its shape. We are not living in the 20th century. We are heading somewhere. We are heading somewhere whereby if Shadrach is going to be the governor, Shadrach should tell us what he has done. If this party is a party of stones, is a party of Tibim, people will also vote Tibim. If this is a party of peace, people will also vote peace. So basically, that is where we are heading to.
Right.
Yes.
True. Right. I want to give you like 2 minutes here for your parting shot as we wrap it up on the show this morning. Your camera is there.
Yeah, I want to tell the coastal region members, we have an upcoming mass voter registration in January. I want to encourage all the members to come out in large numbers to ensure that they register as voters. Number two, I want to assure Kenyans, particularly our coastal people, that His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi and his Uchumi Bora narrative is the only person who is going to salvage this country. Turn up in large numbers, continue campaigning for him, continue sending us views, and we will always address them amicably. We also invite candidates, we invite aspirants from all over the country, from all over the counties and the coastal region to come up. We will hold a free and fair primaries. Yes.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you as the SG over the NC party, we do appreciate your time as well.
Thank you.
It's quite a privilege and an honor to have you on board here, and we wish you the best of luck going forward as you craft yourselves, as you plan for the 2022 general election. And we are hoping also that you will bring to us the party leader himself.
Yeah, I want to promise I'll bring him back. I'll bring the party leader here. I'll also bring a host of our party MPs. And I also want to challenge you, Shadrach, also to join Amani National Congress Party.
Definitely.
Because you see, I don't want you to lag behind when you see me at the top, because we are forming the government.
True.
And you see, when we form the government, I'll not forget you. So don't wait. This is the time.
Joy.
Kama si sasa, ni sasa hivi.
Right.
Asante sana.
You told us Nasa Hawa, and definitely you went ahead and be Naswad.
Yeah, you see, NASA we were the brainchild of NASA. But you see, when we gave it to the Vitenda Willy person, we left it for him. So whatever he did with NASA, only God knows. And that is now water under the bridge.
Right.
Yes.
Of course, that is water under the bridge.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to new things in this new year. Remember all the political happenings that will be happening in the country. It's quite matters that we will be following up for you as well. We are just 7 months away to the 2022 general election. And my guest has just mentioned here, whatever we saw was just a snippet and some bit of a trailer. We should watch the space. More things are coming, and more things will be relaying them to you. Until there, I'm left by nothing but to bring this broadcast and program live into wrap here on Boss TV. Thank you so much for your time. Those of you who have had to engage us, we'd like to appreciate. Those who have just watched us, we also appreciate. And on behalf of everyone who made this program a success, we'd like to say thank you as well. Let's do this again tomorrow, sometime, same place, another conversation with another guest. But what is consistent is just the time and the station, Boss TV. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.